Welcome to WWE Attitude Years 2000, where Triple H buried everyone, The Rock roasted everything, and Vince McMahon was out here beefing with his kids. TLC got brutal. The Radicals bailed on WCW, and nothing made sense, but we loved every second. Hop into our time machine, and let's get uncensored.
What's up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity, Aunt C, joined by my own personal hot commodity.
That's me.
That's Aunt B. And we are jumping into our time machine once again, going back to the new millennium. We have one last stop before we hit WWF Unforgiven. So let's get to WWF SmackDown from September 21st, 2000. Live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I did some research and really nothing happened on this day in history. It was just a basic.
To go to the time machine.
Well, then that's your job, I thought. So Commissioner Foley comes out, and Foley is basically going to do his own investigation to find out who ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's got all the wrestlers surrounding the ring, and he says that at the time that Stone Cold Steve Austin got ran over last November, there were two superstars who were neck and neck in competition, and he names WWF champion The Rock, who immediately comes out, and The Rock says, out of respect to you, I'll let you explain. I'm sorry, the Mick Foley says it to The Rock. Rock says, I feel a little deja vu because I've already told everyone I didn't do it. Let me tell you it in Swedish. And he does a really weird Swedish voice. I'll do it in Chinese. And he mocks Chinese people. And then Foley says, if it wasn't you, the other suspect is Triple H. And then Triple H says, I didn't do it. If I wanted to face Stone Cold Steve Austin like a man and beat his ass. Triple H then goes on to blame Kurt Angle. Angle blames S.A. Rios and then DX. X-Pac blames Jericho, and Jericho blames Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Stephanie blames The Undertaker. Undertaker calls Stephanie a tramp, and basically everyone brawls. And this is just basically everybody who has an issue with each other blaming each other for Austin getting run over. This investigation fucking sucked. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much. It was basically, I hate you, you hate me. Like, everybody just blamed everybody. I mean, they were blaming S.A. Rios. Like,
that's racial profiling at its greatest.
Yeah, I guess so.
S.A. Rios hasn't done anything since Lita turned on him.
I was just going to say it's like his first storyline ever.
Or S.A. Rios. We have our first match.
We all know it was Taka Michinoku.
Oh, yeah. Well, Funaki probably, too. Sky Duty taking on Val Venus with Steven Richards here. Sky Duty goes for the worm, and Steven grabs Scotty's leg. Val lands a fisherman suplex, and Val Venus gets the win. After the match, the Right to Censor attack and take out Too Cool here. And, yeah, man, the Right to Censor destroying Too Cool.
Yeah, they seem to be getting bigger and stronger, but we'll see. I think we need a bunch of, DX-style people to take them on.
Yeah, I feel like when they first came out, it was good and interesting, but now it's kind of getting a little bit boring, repetitive.
Yeah.
Just because it's no one would really do this. I know WWE is not a real life story situation, but even in a fictionalized story, why would you stand up for it?
And this would have made more sense back when DX was together. Because it could have been the degenerates going after these, censorship people. But there's nobody they got the pimp, the porn star, and they got rid of the host. So there's nobody that's really out there against them right now.
Yeah. And it was just pretty much a story for the time, just because the censors, USA Network, went on to do a lot of certain things.
Fuck USA.
That's why they're leaving, going to TNN on Monday. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon Helmsley are backstage, and she gets another bouquet of flowers, and Kurt Angle basically says that, he's proud of her win being tested on Raw, and he's happy for her, which, I'm surprised they didn't get more from that. Team Extreme come out, and that's the Hardy Boys and Lita. Matt says, this Sunday, as a Christian, you will face us in a steel cage. The embarrassment ends for us and begins for you. And then WWF Tag Team Champions Edge and Christian appear on the Titantron. They both have these like weird wigs on, and they talk about how they're going to review a film that they've seen. And it's basically home videos of the Hardy Boys when they're young, pretending to be wrestlers. And Edge and Christian mock them and just make them look stupid. So we go to a break and we come back, and Team Extreme is looking for Edge and Christian backstage. They go to the area where the home video is being projected on, and Christian pushes Matt Hardy into Lita, and Lita falls headfirst into the wall. And then Edge and Christian lay out Matt Hardy with a concerto. So some really hardcore shit here from Edge and Christian.
Yeah, for sure. And when Lita's head hit that wall, it sounded really bad.
Lita looked like she got fucked up, and in SummerSlam she got fucked up with his fear that she almost got hit with a ladder.
Yeah, Edge is really going after Lita. Foreshadow.
But Bubba, he wants to pounce. We have a Hardcore Championship match next. Hardcore Champion Steve Blackman defending against the European Champion and former teammate Al Snow. And Al Snow this week is coming out representing Spain. He has like pinata with the sort of I don't know what it is, the cloth that the bull riders use when the matadors use, and it's just basically him.
He has a picture of like their president. It
was the guy who was in Fantasy Island.
Oh, okay.
I don't know his name, but yeah. So Al Snow, I love this gimmick. When I was a kid, I thought it was really funny, and it's gonna get better too. So Al Snow hits Steve Blackman with the pinata, and then Perry Saturn comes out and gets involved, followed by Test and Albert here. Crash Holly then gets involved, followed by Kai and Ty, and some way, somehow, Steve Blackman walks out still hardcore champion.
Yeah, and this was kind of a setup for the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. They're adding a hardcore invitational match.
But it's whoever gets the last pin in a 10-minute period is the winner.
Yeah, kind of like they did at WrestleMania.
I was going to say, I thought we saw another similar match. Mm-hmm. Do you know what that was?
It was WrestleMania 2000.
Okay.
Near Q. Stone Cold Steve Austin is on the Titantron giving a promo from his house in Texas. Austin says he's going to open the biggest can of whoop ass at Unforgiven. Every wrestler is a suspect, and you're guilty until proven innocent. So Austin is coming back at Unforgiven. You've been waiting for him. What do you think?
I am ready for Austin to come back, and I hope he opens up a can of whoop ass on everybody and raises some hells.
All right.
And I hope we get Vince back soon too, because that always, Austin and Vince always have good storylines.
Mm-hmm. Shane McMahon comes out. We don't get Vince, but we do get Shane. And Shane says, I came out here for 2 reasons. I'd like to thank those who sent me get well wishes after I got hurt at SummerSlam by Steve Blackman. I want to talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin. No one in my family had anything to do with Austin getting hit by a car. This Sunday, I'm going to show Stone Cold Steve Austin exactly took him out, and everybody else is going to see that footage. So, what do you think? Shane McMahon says he knows who ran Stone Cold Steve Austin over.
I don't really think he knows. I had a guess of who I was going to say, but I can't think of it now. It's going to be whoever they're rivaling with. But I just don't know who it is. But I'm sure it's not real. I think they're going to drag this out a few more weeks.
Okay. Well, what I will tell you is that Stone Cold Steve Austin will definitely be at Unforgiven. We then have a tag match, Jerry the King Lawler and Chris Jericho against Taz and X-Pac. During the match, X-Pac and Jericho... before this happens, Taz whips King in the back with a leather strap. Jericho's eventually able to grab it and whip X-Pac with it and chases X-Pac to the backstage area. Taz gets a hold of the leather strap and chokes out the King. We're going to see all 4 of these guys competing on Unforgiven in single matches. What'd you think?
Well, first of all, they weren't supposed to touch each other until then.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
This was just dumb. Like, we don't need to see them fighting we don't need to see them fighting in the first place. You don't need all this build up to it. Like, they're making it like this is like Stone Cold and, The Undertaker going at it. Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, like, every person mattered and every storyline was...
Yeah.
bigger than it was. So we see...
But the whole point of them not being able to touch each other was so we'd get this big build-up. And now it's like they just got to fight each other.
Well, to be fair, though, it's only been just them brawling. There's not really a match. But I hear what you're saying. Like, why even throw that in there if you're not going to follow through with it? That's like when WWE and the future in 2025, when The Rock is involved in the WrestleMania storyline, he doesn't even show up.
Right.
So Chyna's backstage with Eddie Guerrero, and remember, Eddie Guerrero got tossed out of the Playboy Mansion on SmackDown, and then we saw, on Raw, and then we saw, on SmackDown he got kicked out of the Playboy Mansion. On Raw, Chyna got laid out with a bonsai drop by Rikishi. So now Chyna's pissed, and Chyna says, why couldn't you protect me? And he says, I thought you two were friends. I didn't think he would really hurt you. I love you. And then Chyna tosses a bottle, the champagne bottle, and Chyna says, you're not the same person I fell in love with, and leaves the backstage area. Intercontinental Champion Eddie Guerrero then comes out to the ring with flowers and says he wants to apologize to Chyna. Chyna comes out and tosses the flowers in Eddie's face. Eddie says, I thought I was losing you. Chyna says, I heard this all before. Eddie says, everything I've done is out of love. You have it all. I'm nothing. What could I offer you? Chyna says, all I ever wanted from you was love. Eddie says, you're the only thing that belongs to me, and now I have to share that with the world. And then Eddie shows off the cover of Playboy, and he's happy. He's like, look at my beautiful girlfriend. He's like, I am so proud of you. And then Rikishi comes out, and Rikishi says, Chyna, you look good tonight. I have nothing but love for you, but not that snake filling your head with lies. I gave him a chance to help you, and he chose not to. Eddie is not good for you. Eddie starts snapping, says, why don't you mind your business and get out of here? Rikishi says, I got a friend who works security at the Playboy Mansion, and I have some footage for you. And we see footage of Eddie snapping at the guards, trying to get in again, saying not to show the pictures of Chyna. Chyna's again in the ring, upset about it. She's like, my heart can't take this anymore. And then Eddie grabs her and says, if you leave, I die. I'm nothing without you. I'll kill myself. And then Eddie proposes to Chyna, and Chyna says yes.
Yes.
So this is a very abusive, toxic relationship here. They went deep.
It really is. And Chyna needs to listen to her friends, because, Chyna girl, I got some news for you. He's got a wife with a terrible voice named Vicky, and a son named Dominic that no one knows about.
Well, again, I guess it makes sense.
Excuse me.
We're going to get a little meta here on the show and be dramatic, but it makes sense because at first I was like, well, why would Chyna, listen to someone like a girl? But it kind of shows you that even like a powerful, strong woman could get in a toxic situation.
They were trying to show that Chyna can still be a baby mama.
Yeah, but also not only that, but just that, like, she could be,
vulnerable.
And brutalized, and also could be a victim. It doesn't matter what you look like, or,
Just because she used to handcuff and fuck Triple H up the ass with a dildo does not she does not have feelings.
See? Poor Joni, rest in peace. We then see the Acolytes defeat the Righteous Censor in a quick match after Bradshaw hits Bobby Cameron a clothesline from hell. After the Righteous Censor attack until the Dudley Boys and Too Cool make the save. And then we get a cool dance-off with the APA and the Dudleys and Too Cool. They all wear the glasses and dance together.
I loved it. It was really funny.
Yeah.
You were in the bathroom and I paused it just so you could see it, because I thought it was that funny.
Yeah, you were so excited to see Bradshaw bust a move.
Yes, because he was like line dancing. It was funny. And he's a hillbilly, so...
Go get it, Bradshaw.
Oh, and not to backtrack, but I was just thinking, don't treat her like a woman and don't treat her like a man.
Yeah.
Her song even says
Yeah, she's like a hermaphrodite, right?
Hey!
What do they call them nowadays? So we have Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, and Kane taking on The Undertaker, Triple H, and the WWF Champion, The Rock. And this is an interesting match because Triple H is with the good guys. Like, that hasn't happened.
And, yeah, like, if WWE had, like, the triple belts like AEW has, this would have been, like, the dream team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So everyone brawls to start. Kane and Benoit attack The Rock on the ramp. And then, in a crazy moment, The Undertaker gets on his motorcycle and he tries to run over The Rock on the stage. Angle accidentally knocks Stephanie off the apron, and Angle gets upset. He's nervous. Triple H rolls up Angle to get the win. After the match, Kurt Angle hits Triple H with an Olympic slam. Angle grabs his sledgehammer and nails Triple H in the ribs with them, and then grabs a hold of Stephanie McMahon Helmsley and makes out with Stephanie for a second time, this time in front of her unconscious husband. Angle then grabs the mic and says, "Hey Hunter, ask your wife if I kissed like a pansy. Who's crying now?"
We forgot to put one thing in here. Earlier in the night, Stephanie received flowers.
I said that from Kurt Angle. And Triple H is like, oh, I didn't say the joke. Go ahead.
So, he was like, "Oh, they're beautiful. They must be out of pansies." But, yeah, I didn't hear you say about that, so I just wanted to put that in.
That's funny.
You know, they were already kind of working up to it through the night.
Yeah. But this was a very, like, backstage, like, interview-heavy episode.
Mm-hmm.
I did like seeing, I mean, it was interesting. Undertaker is, like, doesn't give a fuck. He's going after The Rock. Doesn't care who he has to go after, get the title, trying to commit murder, ring him over with a bike. Angle.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get that he was trying to run him over. I thought he was just trying to get to Kane.
Rock was laying on the ramp.
Okay.
Like passed out on the ramp. Taker gets on the motorcycle and runs right on the ramp. I mean,
okay. There you got me. I just thought he was trying to get to Kane, but okay. Yeah, he was probably trying to hit him on the way to Kane.
If he was getting to Kane, he was also getting to The Rock.
Yeah. The dead man's pissed.
He was. And also Kurt Angle, man, just getting one over on Triple H and Stephanie again. Like, and I feel like this did get us excited for Unforgiven, though, back in the day.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's personal now, for sure. Like, Triple H is gonna be pissed.
All right, let me get your predictions for Unforgiven really quick before we end this episode. Let's talk about Chris Jericho versus X-Pac. What do you think is going to happen there?
Definitely Jericho. I haven't really seen Road Dogg around, so I don't think he'll get involved, but yeah, definitely Jericho.
Okay. The hardcore champion Steve Blackman versus Crash versus Al Snow versus Perry Saturn versus Funaki versus Test.
Oh, man. I don't know. I kind of feel like Steve Blackman's going to lose it, but I don't know too.
Okay. Intercontinental champion Eddie Guerrero versus Rikishi.
It'd be pretty cool if Al Snow got it, because then he'd have 2 belts. But, what is it again?
Eddie and Rikishi.
Oh. I think Eddie's going to win. Something's going to happen with Chyna.
The leather strap match, Jerry Lawler and Taz.
I think Taz has got to win this one. He can't lose twice to Jerry Lawler, like, who's a commentator and an older man at this point, or he'd look really bad. Unless somebody helps them.
Okay. The Acolytes and the Dudley Boys versus the Right to Censor.
I hate to say it, but probably Right to Censor.
Okay.
Because those teams we already know they're like badass, and Right to Censor's gotta have to, make a impact. So,
okay, we have the tag titles on the line in a steel cage match. Edge and Christian defending against the Hardy Boys.
I'm thinking the Hardys.
Okay. A no DQ match with special guest referee Commissioner Foley, Triple H versus Kurt Angle. Stephanie McMahon Helmsley has been the middle person here. What do you think?
Storyline wise, I think it would be best if Kurt Angle wins.
Okay.
So.
And then the main event, WWF Champion The Rock defending against Kane, Chris Benoit, and The Undertaker.
Alright, I'm thinking The Rock's gonna retain, but if not, I think it'll be Jericho.
Okay. Jericho's on the match.
I'm sorry, who was it again?
Benoit, Kane, and Undertaker.
Oh. Has Kane been champion yet?
Yeah.
I think maybe Benoit will become the champion, but not pin The Rock.
Okay. Good predictions there. Well,
maybe he'll pin Kane.
We're going to get ready to watch Unforgiven in our time machine here, and we're going to then jump out and cover the other shows we've got coming out. I'm kind of drawing a blank here.
We have Money in the Bank coming. We have Worlds Collide. Those are both next weekend. We'll have Raw. We'll have SmackDown. and some more
We're like
attitude.
selling a buffet area. We'll have this, we'll have that. Come to our, what do they used to call those? Garage sale. We'll have this.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, with that, we've covered all of SmackDown. Make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification bell on YouTube.
We're going to get in the time machine and go to, where was Unforgiven?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll say it when we do it.
Okay.
I wonder if it's...
We're going to go
I think
sit
it's going to be...
We're going to sit in the front row.
It was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Actually, we're not going to be in the front row. We're going to be in one of those bougie boxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will definitely. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or we head over to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Wherever you and your mom get podcasts.
Here, and your great uncle.
True.
Those are great.
Through marriage, twice removed.
Yeah. All right. Stay safe and stay uncensored.